Hello everyone, and welcome to the second part of the webinar series on Industry 4.0 and emerging trends, focusing on best practices and working models of select countries on the application of Industry 4.0 or MSMEs, brought to you by the Development Academy of the Philippines. I am Peter Danbaon from the AP Center for Governance, your moderator and project manager of this webinar series. Let me also acknowledge the project team organizing this webinar series. Mr. Ivan Nagalio, our activity focal person, Ms. Maris Potestades, our YouTube monitor, Ms. Leslie Ramos, our Google Meet monitor. We are being supervised by Director Alvin Principe. We are now on the final week and last session of this webinar. In this age of disruption, production techniques and business model brought about by the fourth industrial revolution, it is imperative that the Philippine government capacitate MSMEs to maintain their competitiveness and sustainability. With this context, the Academy conceptualized this online learning session to help key government agencies and actors appreciate and compare models, practices, and applications of Industry 4.0 initiatives of select countries in order to obtain ideas on how to further improve the productivity and competitiveness of MSMEs in the Philippines. Before we formally start, allow me first to reiterate some reminders and house rules that were also flashed before the start of this webinar session. All sessions in this webinar are being recorded and broadcasted live via YouTube for documentation purposes. By joining this webinar, you automatically consent to such recordings. Kindly write your complete name and agency in the chat box so we could monitor your attendance both in the Google Meet and DAP CFG YouTube channel. For our participants in the Google Meet, in the event you will be disconnected and can't return to the platform, you may proceed to our YouTube channel, as indicated in the email advisory and calendar invite sent to you. Please put your microphone on mute to minimize your background noises and avoid distraction for the duration of the session. While we can mute you, it will take us time to identify you given the number of participants. For your questions, kindly write them in the chat box. Indicate your name and office acronym before writing down your questions to be recognized. During the open forum, there will be select participants in the Google Meet who will be allowed to directly post their questions to the resource person, but let me acknowledge you first. We will also request you to turn on your camera. Presentation materials are already available in our webinar series Google Drive. If you will experience difficulty in reading the presented materials, you can download it now. Some emails may require special permission on our part to access the files. Before we proceed to our featured country this week, let me do a quick recap on the highlights of the previous session featuring Malaysia, one of the leading economies with strong current base and well-positioned for the future. We were joined by Ms. Salisa Saari, Director of the Industry 4.0 Unit of the Malaysia Productivity Corporation that serves as the main secretariat for industry-forward activities under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry. In her presentation, she highlighted that the digital transformation should happen not only in MSMEs but as well in the public sector ICT vision, as enshrined in their 11th Malaysian Plan. It means that for government to be able to assist MSMEs for Industry 4.0, it should be able to shift to an efficient and effective online services, streamline internal process, and change work habits, and have a connected agencies through secured communication network. Their ICT framework consists of four main components: its vision, strategic trust, enabling ecosystem, and basic principles. Industry Forward is the Malaysian national policy on Industry 4.0, recognizing the needs for its manufacturing sector to transform as the backbone of their economy and supported by SMEs. Its objective is first to attract and become a strategic partner for smart manufacturing and related services in Asia Pacific. Create a primary destination for high-tech industry and transform as a total solution provider for advanced technology. This can be achieved through a shift in people, process, and technology. Critical in this transformation is to create a mechanism to assess the readiness of their manufacturing and related services sphere. To facilitate this as part of Industry Forward and encourage MSMEs in Malaysia to participate in this transformation, the government is providing incentive that includes soft loan scheme for automation and modernization, Industry Digitalization Transformation Fund, Domestic Investment Strategic Fund, Digital Transformation Acceleration Program, and Automation Capital Allowance. For today's session, we will feature another country where we think we can also learn. And this time, we will feature India, with the aim to enhance the competitiveness of their country's manufacturing sector by making them future-ready and digitally productive by inculcating Industry 4.0 features. The National Productivity Council of India, the DAP counterpart on their country, has established the Center of Excellence on IT for Industry 4.0, or COE-IT for Industry 4.0 at New Delhi in collaboration with Asian Productivity Organization, Japan. It was formally inaugurated on June 6, 2017, and developed a roadmap for the implementation of its country's Industry 4.0. To discuss India's strategies and experience in pursuing fourth industrial revolution for MSMEs, we will be joined by Mr. Yadu K.R. Yadav. Our resource speaker is the Assistant Director of COE-IT for Industry 4.0 from the National Productivity Council, Department for Promotion of Industry and International Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. He is a APO certified on smart industrial application in SMEs from Taipei, Taiwan, and on Orange open source data visualization, machine learning, and data mining software. He received his trainings on Industry 4.0 from Robert Bosch Limited and the latest smart manufacturing technologies at Seoul, Republic of Korea. He is an expert trainer for seminar on application of virtual reality and augmented reality in MSMEs readiness by PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He obtained his postgraduate degree in industrial engineering and bachelor's degree in technology, major in computer science and engineering. To deliver the final session, Session 3, Make in India, Productivity Enhancement through Industry 4.0, let us welcome Assistant Director Yadu Yadav. Good afternoon from the Philippines, Assistant Director Yadu.
A very good afternoon, Dan, and a warm welcome from National Productivity Council India to all the dignitaries and experts who have joined today's session. Thank you.
So if you're
And I
ready,
look forward, yes, I look forward to having a very important discussion with respect to Industry 4.0 and also uh, look at what Philippines is doing, maybe share some views and discussions. So it is going to be quite an exciting journey. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
okay, thank you. So we will now start his presentation. Mr. Ivan, kindly share his PowerPoint. Mr. Yadu, you may now have the
Right.
platform.
Right. So a very warm welcome from National Productivity Council India. As already my introduction has been done by Peter. So I'm Yadu Kumar Yadav, working as an assistant director in National Productivity Council. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Development Academy of Philippines for providing this platform and giving the opportunity to share the views of what India is doing in the domain of the latest smart manufacturing technologies. The global manufacturing landscape is undergoing a structural transformation, as we all can see, and considering the current COVID times as an inflection point, the manufacturing and its supply chain is going to be more and more digitalized. We all agree to that. And in that, Industry 4.0 is going to be one of the very key intervention which is capable of making radical transformation of the manufacturing sector. If you see economist Nicholas Kaldor, he has theorized manufacturing as the engine of growth, and he stipulated that there exists a very close relationship between the growth of manufacturing output and the GDP of country. So we can see that the importance of manufacturing to a country is of paramount importance. And if we want to improve the capability and capacity of the manufacturing sector, Industry 4.0 is the answer. Next slide, please. I'm sure that you have seen this slide many a times before, but to set the things in context, let us revise it for a few minutes. We all know that the first industrial revolution started at the end of the 18th century, which was based on the invention of mechanical production machines powered by steam and water. Then came the second industrial revolution at the beginning of the 20th century, where electricity and new manufacturing interventions began to come up. This era led to the era of mass production and automation. Then came the third industrial revolution in around mid 70s, 1970s, where the rise of computers, computer networks, robotics, and internet came. Now we are talking and are at the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution, which refers to the intelligent networking of machines and processes for industry with the help of information and communication technology. Industry 4.0 describes the organization of production and processes based on technology and devices which are autonomously communicating with each other along the entire value chain. From internet and client-based server model, Industry 4.0 is a step up, and it talks about ubiquitous mobility, which bridges the digital and physical environment. This leads to the convergence of internet in information technology and operational technology, or the industrial internet of things, the development of the internet of things based systems, big data analytics, etc. Next, please. If we talk about the characteristics of Industry 4.0, there are four foundational characteristics on which the 4.0 is premised. First is the connectivity, the data computational power, which is powered by sensors, the Internet of Things, and blockchain, as well as the cloud technology, wherein the data gets accumulated and you are able to make decisions out of it. Second is the analytics, which includes the starting level analytics as well as the advanced analytics like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Third, we have the human machine interaction, wherein we are talking about collaborative robots. We are also talking about automated guided vehicles who are able to do work on their own. We are talking about automation of repetitive processes like robotic process automation, and use of chatbots to ease the work related to uh, uh, all the activities of your shop floor. And the fourth important aspect of this 4.0 is advanced engineering. This is premised on the latest 3D technologies, renewable technologies, which is an upcoming area and it very important and pertinent one. Next, please. There are also some of the other major important characteristics, which includes customization of products and services. Now we are living in an era where the customer demands their products suited to their needs, and our production processes should be able to reorient and remanipulate and re-deliver the products according to the customer's need. So, what are we looking at? We are looking at that these customers as well as our suppliers are being integrated into the business and plan and the value added processes. This ecosystem of Industry 4.0 is also premised on these important technological aspects. The first is the cyber physical systems. It comprises of the embedded systems, the logistics, the engineering part, the coordination processes, and the internet services through which the physical data can be recorded by sensors and we can act on the physical processes. We are able to make decisions, we are able to guide these physical processes through the use of data. It is interconnected by digital networks. It uses global data services and has multimodal man-machine interfaces through which we can interact and deliver results. One important aspect is the Internet of Things. As we all know, that is the connectivity of physical objects, or you can say the smart products with virtual representation on internet. With the help of this wireless network and internet, the smart products can exchange information with each other and they can provide additional services. Second important aspect is the Internet of Services. This Internet of Services is part of the internet that maps the services and functionalities as web-based software components through which you are able to get the services in a package. So when we talk of platform as a service, software as a service, these are all part of Internet of Services. And these are very upcoming and important technological interventions which people are using, because suppose I have a shop floor and I want my data to be integrated and analyzed. So I don't need to have that extra space problem for locating all the servers in my shop floor and inculcating cost as well as space as well as time in looking after those servers. I can make use of the services which are available, the cloud-based platform services through which I can store my data on the cloud and make meaningful information out of that. And for that, I can use the pay-per-use model. The third important aspect is the horizontal and vertical integration. When we talk of vertical integration, if we see the automation pyramid, we have the five layers. The bottom one is the field layer, which includes the devices, the actuators, and the sensors, which are at the shop floor. The second is the control layer, which is the program, which includes the PLC based programs through which you are able to control the field level components. One level up is the supervisory and control level, which we call the supervisory control and data acquisition systems, the SCADA systems. One level up is the MES, wherein you are able to see all the activities of your shop floor through manufacturing execution system and able to capture the overall equipment effectiveness, the way in which your production is running, the various aspects of your shop floor are visible through MES. And at the top, we have the business integration software platforms, which we call the enterprise resource planning, ERP. So when we talk of the vertical integration, we are talking that there is a seamless flow of information and data in this automation pyramid. Earlier there was only a incremental sharing of information. Through industry 4.0 we are talking of an ecosystem wherein all these levels of the automation pyramid are exchanging information, and we are able to generate more insights with respect to each and every aspect up to the minor detail of a single product. Next please. These are all foundational technologies. I will not go deep into all the details because these are all buzzwords and we have a lot of information available with respect to these technologies. So we have the already discussed IoT is there, cloud, we are using the simulation part, the 3D manufacturing, the big data, also the augmented reality and the virtual reality through which you are able to bridge the gap of how a production system is run. Now, a worker through a use of of a 3D glass is able to work on a system, and when he clicks on his glass, he is able to see the insights of a machine, how it is run, the instructions which are there, and if he is faltering on some of the parameters, he is able to rectify them through use of these AR and VR technologies. Next, please. Now, this IT/OT integration is a very important concept when you talk of Industry 4.0 because the information technology aspect, it includes the computers, the storage part, the network devices, the infrastructure, as well as processes which create, process, and store all form of electronic information. So this IT is the software part, and operational technology historically included the industrial control system, which is related to the manufacturing and industrial environments. Or we can say that supervisory control and data acquisition systems is, for example, a part of the operational technologies. What we are trying to establish through Industry 4.0 is we are trying to integrate the information technology part and the operational technology part to make a seamless integrated workflow system through which we are able to decipher up to the smallest level of my product, like what is the status of the product, where is my product currently, what is my rejection rate. You are able to see the complete shop floor on your dashboard or palm top, all the activities, all the datas, all the statuses are available on your palm top. This is the beauty of the Industry 4.0 or the industrial internet of things, which is an upcoming area now. Next please. Through Industry 4.0, when we are dealing with the factory models through which suppose dashboard implementation, artificial intelligence based data acquisition and insights, you are identifying the plant level bottlenecks through which you can improve upon based on the areas identified, the low hanging fruits, the pain areas, the areas of interventions through which you can get the maximum ROI. These are the benefits of using the Industry 4.0 implementation aspects. You have the operational visibility because you are able to see to the lowest level the all the operations of the shop floor and the production processes. So this is leading to 50% availability and performance. And also you are able to do the predictive analytics before the machine is going to fail. Through the use of data acquisition, realization and analysis on the dashboard, you are able to predict the time and the fault modes through which your machine is going to fail, and you are able to devise better solutions beforehand before the actual machine breakdown happens. So you are doing the predictive analytics and reducing the downtime and increasing the overall equipment effectiveness. This will lead to 50% lower equipment downtime and wastages. Next, please. When we talk of Indian economy, uh, in terms of statistics, we have 60% of the population falling within the working age category. So that's a very good demographic dividend for India. We are the fifth largest manufacturer, which generating 17% of GDP and 15% of the total employment in India. And the Indian manufacturing sector is growing by more than 7% per year. In terms of the indices, India is doing quite good, like the World Competitiveness Index and the Global Innovation Index. We are having good score. Next, please. This was a very important report which came out which was published by the World Economic Forum. It was related to the future of production assessment report. And this report analyzed how well positioned a country is with respect to shaping and benefiting from the changing nature of production in future. That is, it is analyzing the readiness of your country with respect to the industry 4.0 premises. And the assessment consisted of two main components. First was the structure of production, which measured the country's current baseline of production. And second aspect was the drivers of production, which included key enablers that position a country to capitalize on the fourth industrial revolution to transform their production system. Now, when we talk of structure of production, it included the economic complexity and the scale. The economic complexity means the mix of uniqueness of a product which a country is able to make as a result of the knowledge and the advancement in the R&D and the science and tech in the country. And it also measured the scale, which is a measure of the manufacturing value added. That is the total volume of the manufacturing output within a country, plus the significance of manufacturing to a country or the manufacturing value added as a percentage of GDP. The second component, this was the structure of production. The second component was the drivers of production. The drivers of production measured six important aspects. It measured the technology and innovation part, which assesses the extent to which a country has advanced and secure and has a secure connected ICT system to support the adoption of new technologies. It also measured the human capital aspect, which assessed the ability to respond to shifts in the labor market triggered by industry 4.0, because when you talk of the implementation of I40 in any country which has, since India has uh, bulk of labor available, so sometimes that happens that the industry 4.0 adoption leads to some of the fears that this will lead to job loss. So it is also measuring the level to which it is able to respond to the shifts in the production labor market through industry 4.0, looking at the current labor capabilities and the long term abilities to cultivate the right skills and talent. So it also looked at the vision and the planning with respect to which you are able to plan this ecosystem of how to use the human capital to its advantage. The third aspect was the global trade and investment. It assessed the country's participation in international trade to facilitate the exchange of products, knowledge, and technologies, and also looked at how the global linkages with respect to these new and upcoming technologies. Fourth aspect talked about institutional framework, which obviously is the rule of law, the government policies, the implementation plan, the schemes with respect to the industry 4.0 and the efficiency and effectiveness for implementing these schemes on ground in the manufacturing sector as a whole. The fifth aspect talked about sustainability, how well we are using the resources in a sustainable manner so that we are not polluting the environment, and uh, we are making the product with zero defects and also zero effect on the environment. And the sixth important aspect was the demand environment, that is the market size, what is the consumer base, how well the consumers are in using the latest technologies and internet to uh, uh, seek for these products from the organization, like the use of the e-commerce and the social media and other apps on the internet. So when we talked about the rank of India, we can see that India fell in the legacy category. So this whole ecosystem was divided into four blocks. First was the leading one, which has a which meant you have a large complex structure of production which we just discussed, and it has a favorable factors of or drivers of production. That means in both the angles you are working really fine, that you have a strong base of production also, plus you are able to provide that ecosystem for your industries to grow. That ecosystem includes favorable policies, that includes demand environment, that includes technology and innovation interventions, latest technologies, R&D. So everything is fine for these leading countries. And when you talk of high potential countries, these high potential countries have a limited current base. That is their uh, favorable factors of production are there, but they have a small structure of production. That means they don't have that scale to cater to the cater these technologies too. So they have to look for maybe the outside world, for maybe they have to look for the export. So they don't have that much level of internal capability to support these technologies. The nascent technologies, the nascent column included those countries which has a limited current base, and at the same time they have unfavorable drivers of production. So they are at the bottom, and uh, India fell into the legacy country. This meant that we have a large structure of production but unfavorable drivers of production. Means we have a very large capacity and capability, but at the same time, the drivers of production which are required to take us to the next level are missing, or we are lacking in them. I also happened to take a look at what the Philippines ranking was, and it was also falling in the legacy country. So I think we, India and Philippines, are both at the same level, and we can this leads to an opportunity wherein we can collaborate and work towards how to improve the technological aspects, how to improve the trade and investment, how to improve the demand environment, how to improve the institutional framework, and the sustainable use of resources for overall productivity and improvement. So next please. So this led to very important and pertinent questions, which is pertinent both for India and the Philippines, that legacy countries need to carve out a strategy for the futures. And there are three-pronged challenges which we have to address. First is the technology and innovation. That is, we need to upgrade technology platform and seek for innovators, seek for technology providers, solution integrators on a very who can implement these solutions on a very large scale. For this, we need to create an ecosystem wherein, supported by maybe government and or the national body like NPC, we need to create an ecosystem wherein we have the technology or solution providers at one hand, we have the integrators at other hand, and also the end users, which are the MSMEs or industries, which can get benefited through this whole ecosystem of implementation. Second aspect is we need to also take look at the human capital. That is, we need to do massive implementation of reskilling and upskilling programs. For this, we need to create an ecosystem wherein we work with industry associations, industry boards, the state governments, and the regional governments as well, to carve out strategies for uh, providing skills to these workers. Because once you implement the industry 4.0 technologies, we also need to upgrade the skills of their workers, so that there is no gap with respect to the when the actual implementation happens. Suppose you are very sophisticated and important and I40 enabled technologies you have implemented in the shop floor, but you have on the same time you are not upgrading the skills of the workers, then it is of no use. Third and the most important aspect is the institutional framework, because in countries like India, we need to also inculcate or channelize the important intervention which is and the support which is provided by the government. So they need to come out with schemes through which subsidy kind of thing, or maybe technology support or interest subvention schemes kind of support gets passed on to these SMEs and industries for them to kickstart their journey of Industry 4.0. Once they are taken to a level, then they can implement and they can self-sustain themselves upon this journey. So we need to push them for that initial kick so that they are able to sustain the upcoming technological scenario. Next, please. So, if you see the statistics, the globally the I40 market is expected to reach 200 plus billion by 2023. And in India, the manufacturing sector forms an integral part of the country's long-term vision. And here I want to mention that to transform India into global design and manufacturing hub, Government of India has launched the Make in India policy as a landmark policy. The aim of this policy is to increase the share of manufacturing in GDP from the current 16% to 25% by 2025. And we are also aiming to create 100 million additional jobs by 2022. But if you see some of the statistics, like robots are still a rarity on the Indian manufacturing shop floor. So we have only a limited presence with respect to robotics. We need to improve on that also. Next, please. So the digital connectivity forms the backbone for the adoption of Industry 4.0 technology. With increasing penetration of the internet in India and emergence of e-commerce, presence of enterprises on the internet has become an inevitable job to do. Ensuring comprehensive broadband connectivity in industrial cluster, Government of India has also launched the Digital India program with a vision to transform India into digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. As with any disruptive technology, Industry 4.0 will have a transformational impact on the employment and skills. While the government of India is aiming for 5 trillion economy, of which manufacturing would be $1 trillion by 2025. So Make in India is going to be a very flagship and important program for achieving this Industry 4.0 implementation landscape. So why manufacturing is an important aspect? Because manufacturing facilitates stronger and stable growth. It is able to increase the import, the export scenario. It is also generating lots of employment. Next, please. So, with increasing globalization, in the manufacturing environment, Industry 4.0 will be a quintessential part of the manufacturing revolution in India. So Make in India will be an important aspect through which we will be, the government of India is planning to roll out the skilling aspects, the technology support aspects, as well as the manufacturing infrastructure aspects for the betterment of the industries and SMEs at large in India. Next, please. If you see the Indian manufacturing scenario, we have obviously these are the four categories in which every manufacturing scenario gets deciphered. The capital goods sector, it is the main pillar or the front runner which is poised to adopt the advanced manufacturing concepts, followed by the intermediate goods, basic goods, and consumer goods. So we have lot of opportunities in the capital goods sectors with respect to adoption and implementation of I40 on a large sector. So auto components is a front runner, railway locomotives is a front runner, commercial vehicles, machine tools, electric generators, diesel engines, boilers, textile machineries. These are all front runners in adopting the Industry 4.0 technology in the industrial scenario in India. Next, please. as already discussed with you, that we have a Make in India program which was launched in 2014 to promote India as an investment destination and make it a global hub for manufacturing. These are some of the interventions which have been done by the government of India of late, of which our Center of Excellence is also a part. The National Association of Software and Service Company, the NASSCOM, it has launched the Center of Excellence on IoT and AI, which is also doing a lot of interventions. We have partnered with the NASSCOM Center of Excellence on IoT and AI, and we are planning to do a lot of interventions, the capacity building and the technology interventions in the SMEs at large. We also have a very important intervention with respect to the National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical System. So what it talks about, uh, to harness the potential of the new wave of technology and make in India, the the government of India has launched the National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical Systems. This is being implemented by the Department of Science and Technology, and it has a outlay of more than 36,000 crores for Indian rupees for a period of 5 years. The mission is the in the first phase of this interdisciplinary cyber physical system, the focus is on establishing 6 technology innovation hubs in the following domains. First domain is the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Second is the technologies for IoT, sensors, actuators, and controls. Third is the data banks and data services as well as data analytics. Fourth is the advanced communication system. Fifth is the robotics and autonomous systems. And sixth is the cyber security for physical infrastructure. So it is going to be a very important intervention, and these six technology innovation hubs are going to give various R&D related, science and tech related inputs for the technologies to be implemented on a large scale in the industrial scenario in India. Next, please. We also there are two important components of the government of India schemes. First is the Skill India, through which we are implementing the skilling, reskilling, and upskilling, of which I was talking, on a very large scale. And also we are talking of a Digital India. Digital India is a implementation aspect which is encompassing all the ministries in India, and the main aim of this schemes is to enable all the aspects of related to governance, all the aspects related to services of the government digitally enabled. So when you talk of government e-marketplace, GEM is one of the component wherein we are trying to do the selling as well as buying of government related items on the internet, on the e-commerce platform. So it is called the GEM, Government E-Marketplace. We are also doing the digital intervention with respect to services that Government of India is providing to its the customers and to the citizens of India. So when you say e-governance, this is one of the very important initiative under the government under the Digital India program. Also, when we talk of Digital India, we are trying to connect all the hinterlands and the rural areas with fiber optic cable, so that we want the internet to be reached to every nook and corner of the country, so that they all get encompassed into this digital ecosystem and they are able to uplift themselves to take advantage of this improved and new scenario. With an aim based on the above initiatives and the digital interventions that is going, this National Productivity Council India established Center of Excellence on Industry 4.0 in collaboration with Asian Productivity Organization, Japan. Its mandate was to function as a channel for enhancing the competitiveness of the manufacturing sector by inculcating Industry 4.0 features and make industries, SMEs, future ready and digitally productive. The approach in support of Industry 4.0 is to integrate these SMEs into global value chains and develop their manufacturing capability for accomplishing the productivity and competitiveness gains. So these are the objectives through or which we are working. We are working to function as a knowledge center for the MSMEs. We are trying to disseminate the knowledge through workshops, lectures. We are developing an experience zone to facilitate the display of latest technologies to help SMEs, startups. We are coordinating with APO for experts to disseminate the knowledge through for Industry 4.0 in other countries as well through the exchange programs that is being done through APO platform. And also we are as the next step when we are through with the implementation plan and the roadmap and some of the use cases, we are also mandated to facilitate the COE's establishment in other maybe APO as well as non-APO member countries. Next, please. These are some of the activities that we did in the since 2017. So we have developed a roadmap. We are signing MOUs with key and important national bodies, which includes industrial bodies as well as technology and solution providers like Bosch, Schneider, and as well as we are also the strategy that we are using is we are trying to collaborate with large players, the large solution providers, as well as we are collaborating with small or startups based startups who are working in the I40 domain. So there is a mix of the solution implementation aspects, wherein we are having large players as well, and as well as the small players or the startups who can offer their technologies and the integration uh, uh, help at a very lower or cost effective rates. In 2019 we have done lots of workshops, international workshops wherein APO members have participated. We have also done an observation study mission. We hosted the vital people from Singapore, the government of Singapore officials, and also we have started the demonstration project on Industry 4.0 in 2019. Next, please. So this is the dedicated web portal which we have developed. On this portal we are integrating lots and lots of new features, um, uh, like the services we offer. These are already there. Whom we work with, the knowledge center, the latest events, the FAQs, the linkages, and the feedbacks. All are there on the web portal. Now we are trying to integrate lot of other important aspects, like we are developing a model for assessment for the readiness of Industry 4.0 of the SMEs and the industries. So we will be in a within a month or 2 months we are integrating that detailed assessment model with this platform, wherein the SMEs and the industries can assess the first hand readiness of the production processes, data, customer service environment, and other aspects. They can assess at what level they currently are operating, and they can get insights on how to transform or how to take the journey or how to kickstart the I40 journey to take them to the next level. This we will be integrating in within 1 month. We'll be integrating because all the questionnaires, all the model is finalized already. We have rolled out a unique small version, a coffee table book version, which is called Bharat 4.0. I will discuss with about this in the next slides. Next, please. So in 2020, 21 is going to be very interesting with respect to what CEO is doing and implementing. We are already doing research on the need assessment survey in 5 sectors, and the report is going to get published very soon. It will give us key insights with respect to 5 important sectors which we have chosen. First is the textile sector, second is the food processing sector, third is the pharma, fourth is the agri machinery, and uh, 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 the textile, food processing, pharma, agri. So these sectors we have chosen, and auto components. And these sectors we have chosen, and we are trying to assess the industry 4.0 scenario of these sectors, the readiness of these sectors as a whole. So what we are doing, these the information that we will be getting from the the study, we will be having key insights for having more detailed intervention, more detailed policy interventions for targeting these sectors and taking them to the next level of I40 enabled smart manufacturing environment. We are trying to assess their current level through the study. So the we have already rolled out the questionnaires to various SMEs belonging to these five sectors. So the strategy was, we rolled out the questionnaires, we did interviews with the technology providers, we did interviews with the industry association uh, representatives, and gained insight with respect to what is the current level of the readiness of these sectors. This report will give us many important things. First, we will get what at what level they are playing currently. Second, we will get how do we take them from the current level to the next level. So this will give us policy insights. And the third will be which technology and or the which solution is suited best for these sector specific interventions. So it's a very important report. We will also be publishing it and making it available on our website in coming days. It is already in the final stage, and we will roll it out soon. We are partnering with various international and national players like SMC. We have partner NASCOM, Bosch, PSD Chamber for capacity building and interventions. We are doing lots of webinars because in the current COVID scenario, we have with our visionary leadership of our Director General, Sir, Shri Arun Kumar Jha, we switched to online mode, and then we rolled out various workshops, various training programs with related to Industry 4.0 and other productivity related aspects. Uh, if we talk of only Industry 4.0 related aspects, we have trained till now more than 3,000 participants since March. And if we talk of overall participants with respect to productivity and other related aspects, more than 30,000 participants we have trained till now through online mode. One important aspect which Center of Excellence on Industry 4.0 is currently working on, as I told you, the Smart Industry Readiness Index. We are trying through which industries can gauge their current readiness of I40 and how they can climb to the next level. We are also implementing a demonstration project in 5 SMEs units in India. So we always believe that to have a clear understanding, you need to implement these technologies in real time in the industrial scenario, and then take the results and see how these technologies are behaving, what is the ROI, how you are getting benefited. So we are working with that aspect. Therefore, we already have done one demo project in Chennai, of which I will discuss in the later slides. The second important intervention we are doing in 5 SMEs now, which is currently ongoing. We have done the initial assessment. We have made the project plan. Now we are in talks with the technology and solution providers who can who will start implementing the solutions with respect to the pain areas which have been identified in these SMEs. The strategy which we are implementing is, because we always will be wanting the help of the integrators, the solution and technology providers. Therefore, we are also developing a directory of the national and international experts on Industry 4.0. This includes the international experts who are working in this domain, as well as the in-house experts who are working in these latest I40 technologies. This is a very important aspect and very critical aspect when you talk of the whole ecosystem for implementing the Industry 4.0. You need to have technology and solution providers on board. You need to have integrators on board, and you need to have a strategy through which these technology and solution integrators can contribute for the real-time implementation of smart solutions. we one another important aspect that we are currently working on is an experience zone on Industry 4.0. What happens is ki when you through talks only you don't get a the real feeling of what the scenario is. We are trying to develop a state of the art experience zone in our own premises, wherein we will be deploying the state of the art I40 technologies and on a and as a display. So we will be when you enter the walkway, you will be introduced to the four industrial revolutions. You will be introduced through touch and feel panels. You will be introduced to the various I40 technologies, and then you can gather more and more insights and information. There will be experts deployed through which you can talk and have a more clear discussions. We are also planning to deploy operational prototypes, small IoT based, AI based, machine learning based prototypes through which you can have a first hand insights. Suppose what happens is in India, if you discuss with SMEs, they have lots of apprehensions and lot of questions. So we are trying that these questions be addressed in a real time environment, in a real time solution based and demo based environment through which they can learn and get insights with respect to how these technologies are working, what benefit they will get if you are getting your information on your palm top, the production related aspects and the data and the product and the process related aspects, what benefits you will get. So it is easy to make them understand through these touch and feel real environment based scenarios. So we are developing that experience zone. It will be ready very soon. Already work is going on that. Another important aspect I will discuss later is we are trying to develop the industry academia linkage. What we have seen at India is that there is a very large disconnect when you talk. So there are two aspects. Suppose these universities and colleges, they are uh, working on some technological aspects related to Industry 4.0 or smart manufacturing. On the other hand, they are not able to deploy or these technologies only remain in their labs. What we are trying to build is an ecosystem in which these technology provide these university professors the technologies which they implement and they develop gets integrated with the industrial scenario in their respective regions. So our COE is at the center. We want to create the outreach COEs. These outreach COEs will be established in the universities and the colleges across the India. Through these outreach COEs, we will be training them, the faculties through faculty development programs. We will be training the students through internship programs, through 2 credit system programs, wherein they will be exposed to real life industrial scenario, how the industries work, how do you assess the various aspects of the industry, their current level, how do you assess the functionalities, the granularities in which the and the environment in which the industries are functioning, and map the technologies which they currently are working on. I'm talking about the universities. Map these with the industries in their respective regions. So they are they will be working in a coherent manner. They will be working more productive because they will not be working in a silos. They will be working in an integrated manners. And these outreach COEs, through these outreach COEs, these faculties and the students will be our extended arm, who can then provide services and solutions to these industries, because India is a very a very large country, and then we have to cater to various SMEs. We are talking about 6 crore plus SMEs in India. So that's a huge number, and to cater to these SMEs, we need to devise these kind of strategy, and it is a very important strategy. Even if the number or scale is not there. This industry academia linkage is going to be a game changer with respect to which the industries function and with respect to which the universities and the colleges are functioning. We are also, apart from doing the smart readiness index, this will map the readiness of the industry level or the unit level. We are also, through these scores which will come out of the readiness, we are trying to develop a model wherein we can do the ranking of all these industries and SMEs with respect to the maturity of I40, and then we can see how well they are positioned and what targeted interventions need to be done for those who are falling behind. This will give a very uh, critical insights with respect to sector level interventions. So this model we are already working on. It will many things will be rolled out in the coming month, because we already have worked on the model is already, the ranking model is in the finalization stage. The index is already going to get rolled out. So a lot of exciting work stuff is coming in the upcoming months for the Center of Excellence. Next, please. When you talk of the implementation approach, we are looking at four-pronged approach. First is the readiness assessment. Now we have formalized it and made a readiness assessment model wherein we can assess the readiness with respect to the industry 4.0 and have a gap analysis and able to take out possible areas of interventions wherein we can apply I40 technologies with maximum ROI. Second aspect is the project planning, when we prepare a roadmap for the duration of the project in selected functional areas. Third is the real-time project implementation, wherein we implement the agreed upon plan and start designing and developing the smart solutions, start testing them and deploying them in the functional areas which we have selected. And this fourth important aspect is the capacity building and change management, wherein we are doing the continuous scaling, reskilling, and upskilling aspects for the selected functional areas. So we are we'll have to develop the plan for workers. We have to develop the training plan for the supervisors. We have to develop the training plan for the management as well. So at these three levels, we have to do the planning with respect to capacity building. Next, please. This I was talking with respect to the digital readiness assessment. So we have already rolled out the coffee table version. This is free to use. You are happy to have a look at it, play with it, because it is already made into a Google form. So I will give the link to Dan also. He can share with you. You can see and see how it works. So basically, this Bharat 4.0 digital readiness assessment tool is basically, next please. What we have done is a three-step approach with respect to this readiness assessment model. Considering the I40 readiness of the enterprise of the units, wherein we have made into three main drivers. I will discuss with you in the next slide what the three main drivers are. And please be on that slide. So these three main drivers, let me just give you a insight with respect to that. And we are, so first driver is the product and processes, in which we have three sub pillars. Okay, so first is the in the product and processes, we are spanning the readiness of the product, how digital readiness, how digitally ready is your product? Are you able to trace your product data? Are you able to do the product customization or not? Second is the process, wherein we are talking about the supply chain. So is your supply chain visible? Is your supply chain flexible enough? to resolve to the customer needs. We are asking such kind of questions. We are asking the process production flexibility, whether it is flexible enough to respond quickly to the customer needs and market change. And we are asking the how the your scheduling is done. So these kind of questions we are asking in processes. And the third sub pillar is the system. Herein, we are asking the system and the functionality related aspects like the digital integrations, like how well the new digital technologies are being integrated into your existing technologies and systems and processes. Are you using latest technology usage, and up to what extent you are using that? We are asking questions with respect to the legacy technologies. Are you adopting digital systems, or what is the level of dealing with the legacy or the old technology? How you are dealing with that? What is the communication channels? So these kind of questions we are asking in the product and processes pillar. The second pillar is the manufacturing and operations. We are asking question herein. We are asking questions with respect to connectivity. In connectivity, we are asking the level of automation at your machine level. We are asking the digital integrations of machines and systems at plant level, and we are asking, are your machines able to do self monitoring or not? So these kind of questions we are asking with respect to connectivity aspects of your production process. We are also asking the questions with respect to IT systems. We are asking whether you are able to identify the data points to support your business processes, whether you are collecting the data, up to what extent you are collecting, what is the analysis or the level of analysis that you are doing, how you are verifying, what is the modeling of the data that you are doing, and the security aspects, whether your IT security network is secure enough to secure the data as well as the other aspects of the shop floor. So we are asking questions with respect to that. And the third and the final uh, main driver is the organization and strategy. So, or in organization strategy, because this is a very important aspect when you talk of Industry 4.0 implementation, the leadership also has to get involved. So we are asking questions like the whether you have a well-defined strategy or not, whether you are communicating these strategies to your customers and suppliers, whether you are able to identify processes as a management which are critical for digital integration. What is the level of risk management for this digital integration, and other questions like partnership and investment questionnaires we are asking. We are also asking with respect to the human resource aspects in this organization and strategy. We are asking them the readiness of the talent, the skill upgradation, the programs, whether they are in place with respect to I40 to address the skill gaps, whether you are whether there is any human machine interaction or up to what extent, what marketing channels are you using, and what is the feedback for product and service development, and these kind of questions we are asking. Also we are asking questions with respect to suppliers and customers. We are asking because as I also talked about in the previous slide, that in industry 4.0 scenario we need to go for the horizontal and the vertical integration. So when you talk of horizontal integration, you need to integrate your suppliers as well as customers into your entire value chain. We are asking questions whether you are able to your supplier is able to deliver digital feature loaded components to you or not, up to what extent you are collaborating with your suppliers, what is the post service sale that you are offering to your customers, what is the level of feedbacks that you are collecting from your customers for improving your production process and other productivity related aspects, and how well you gauge the collaboration of your plant in the domain of industry 4.0. So these kind of questions we are asking in the three main drivers: uh, product and processes, organization and strategy, as well as manufacturing and operations. And there these sub pillars and questionnaires are total 49 in numbers. Based on that, we calculate the maturity level of 49 subdomains in 9 subpillars. So 9 subpillars were basically connectivity, data, and system, product, processes. In that, we have 49 questionnaires. And for the analysis part, we are representing the I40 readiness through reports and radar charts. So this is the overall scenario of the readiness assessment. Next, please. Next slide, please. So these are the basically sub pillars. When you talk of the supplier side, the product and data integration; on the customer side, product and data integration; and the and the in company level product and in company level integration of product, processes, connectivity, and IT system. So this is basically, and we're also asking with respect to your business model, some of the question with respect to your business model, like uh, what I talk about, what is the level of what business models are you using with respect to I40? What is the level of communication? Are you how you are dealing with the legacy technology? These kind of questions we are asking in the business model. So this is the overall architecture. This will be up and running within a month because we already finalized the questionnaires and the model. And the for the ranking, we use the analytical hierarchical processing model (AHP) model we are using for defining the readiness of your plant. So next slide, please. We are defining the readiness in terms of 5 parameters. Starter, SMART. We have given the acronym SMART. So starter is the first level of readiness, which signifies that organization has basic awareness about the industry 4.0. Second is the managed, which signifies that it has started implementing few of the standalone approaches and processes within the business, and it is just kickstarting its I40 journey. Adaptive, we have given the readiness level 3, that organization has started to reap the benefits. It has implemented some of the aspects and the also started reaping the benefits. So it's in the mid range of the readiness. The fourth level is the realizer. Now that the organization it is cruising the business journey of adopting the emerging technologies, and it is able to build a well-established I40 process through making informed investments. So now it has started and kick-started its journey of I40, and it is in a very advanced stage with respect to I40 readiness. And the fifth and the last level is the level fifth. Now it is basically top-notch level, which signifies that the organization is excelling in every single aspect of digitalization on as based on the spider diagram and other aspects related to I40 readiness. So this is the levels in which your organization will get mapped and get ranked. The profitable version is up and running. We have the profitable version is a very quick insight and quick way of gauging your readiness. For the detailed questionnaires, we are finalizing it, and it will be published very soon. The link I will share with Dan. You can also play with it, check with it, how your ranking is coming. Once you fill all the details in the form, the report will be automatically emailed to your on the email ID given in the form, and then you can see how your readiness is on various aspects and various pillars, and what is the roadmap ahead and the way ahead, and what is the current level of digitalization. Next, please. Dan, how much time do we have?
Yes, Mr. Yadu, please.
Dan,
Hello, Mr. Yadu.
how much more time we have?
Can you wrap up your presentation in 10 minutes so that we have more time for the open forum?
Okay. So I will not go deep into the some of the aspects here. This is basically a Industry 4.0 enabled scenario where we have already discussed. You are able to do the order management. You are able to do the predictive analytics, planning and control, and you are also able to automate your factory level aspects. Next, please. This is a use case of connected supply chain, wherein when you see the traditional supply chain, it is taking total 10 to 18 days from raw materials to retailer store, and the information is from one aspect to another, and it is silo based. What happens in the industry 4.0 environment is there is real time information integration and analysis and sharing, and you are able to communicate across the entire value chain of the product. So you are reducing uh, the time in which you are catering to the demand. So the timing gets reduced, the cost gets reduced, the efficiency improves. Next. This is another example wherein you are using machine vision for predictive quality control. This is a smart shop floor wherein you are using digital war room dashboards. You're using the 3D printing, the digital twins, wearable wristband. The worker is using wearable wristband. He's using AR VR technology, and you are able to do predictive analytics for CN to optimize the CNC performance. Next, please. This is one another example. Next. This is an example of automated shop floor wherein you are using the autonomous guided vehicle robots. You are using 3D. So basically, Swarm is basically a fleet of when you see a fleet of birds who fly in a very synchronous and comprehensive manner in the sky. So on the same way, this swarm autonomous guided vehicle robots has been designed to work, that they work in a very integrated and synchronized manner, and one robot is not interfering in the work of other robots. So this is a very important and upcoming technology, swarm autonomous guided vehicle robots, and it will be having very important uses in the warehouse management system. Next, please.
Yes.
This is one of the demo project that we are currently doing. So I will take you through this implementation aspect. So what we did is the the demonstration project is being implemented in, as told by I was already told that we are implementing in 5 demo companies. These 5 demo companies are basically located in the national capital region, and what the strategy that we are implementing here is the focus and leap mindset. So the traditional mindset was where resources are scattered over every area and you do intervention for each and every aspect. Now what we are trying to do is we are focusing and using the focus and leap strategy, wherein we will invest resources on strategically focused issues, and then we will leap directly into I40 based on those corresponding aspects. So what we are trying is we are pinpointing the low hanging fruits wherein we can have the maximum ROI, and then we will be leaping directly into the I40 strategy and implementation aspects. Next, please. So this is basically the technologies that we are implementing in those 5 SMEs. First is the smart machine box. Basically, this is a device to collect the data through controller interface, and we are able to monitor the status and calculate figures for production management. We are also able to report it through Ethernet to shop floor server for visualization, analysis, and Cloud Connect. So SMB also has interfaces embedded of various controllers. So because the machines today are embedded with controllers like Fanuc, Siemens, so it will be having the interface of all these controllers. Also, we are able to do the analysis on the dashboard through of the production management software modules, the equipment utilization management, the fault alert. These aspects will be built into the dashboard, which will be shown on the manufacturing head in the palm top or laptop or the desktop of the head of the enterprise. Second is the predictive maintenance. What we are doing is we are trying to gather the data through dashboard, analyze it, visualize it on the dashboard, and through the use of mm, predefined rules or fault analysis or fault based rules, we will be predicting the failures of the various parameters of machines. So this predictive maintenance aspect we will be deploying in these 5 SMEs. We are also trying to deploy an automated optical inspection module. So the purpose of it is to inspect workpieces in flexible, non-compact mode without interrupting manufacturing processes. So this automated optical inspection we are implementing in basically the garment sector. So what happens is the garment sector has some problems related to the quality of the raw material or the finished products. They are not able to see the fault patterns in the quality. And so therefore we are deploying the automated optical inspection wherein you are able to inspect the workpieces or the raw material and the finished products in a non-contact mode. So there will be the camera and the workpiece will flow on the table, and through the image processing module you are able to capture the defects in a real time and integrated manner. Also we there are some of the because the smart machine box is able to gather the data from the controller interface of the machines, but there are some aspects which cannot be measured through interface, like the die or mold temperature. There are die machines and the mold temperature is not being able, we are not able to judge. So we have what we have deployed sensors to read the data. This data will be read in an analog form. uh, we will be deploying a data acquisition system to transform the analog signals into digital signals and transmit it to the smart machine box for analysis through data acquisition system, which will be fed in then into the cloud for analysis and predictive maintenance. Next, please. So these are the implementation strategies that we are trying to implement, like the first company, which is a die casting uh, having a die casting machine. We are trying to deploy die and mold temperature sensors in it, and through data acquisition system it will be the data will be read, and the other controller data will be fed directly to the smart machine box. We are also trying to because one of the important aspect of these companies is the energy related aspects. So we are also deploying power and energy related sensors to calculate the overall compressed air consumption of these machines. So this data will also, through these sensors, the data will be fed into the data acquisition system, which will be fed to the smart machine box, and through it to the servers. At the server end, we will be uh, designing the failure modes or the ways in which the machine parameters and other aspects will be fed into it, and then analyzed how this the because we are analyzing how and when it can fail. So we will be inputting the failure modes, the likely ways or methods, and the uh, methodologies in which these machine can fail based on the parameters. So these failure modes will be input to the server, and we will do the data visualization and predictive maintenance. And also based on the air power consumption parameters, we will be able to see the energy saving through automatic demand response. In the unit 2, we are deploying the automated optical inspection. As already we have discussed, that we will be inputting the fabric images and the defect modes, which will then be calculated at the server and for defect reduction and defect removals. And also we will be deploying the energy saving through automatic demand response. Next, please. In the third unit, third unit is a plastic injection molding unit. So we will be deploying the smart machine box, the data acquisition system, and in the same way through server, we'll be analyzing it. The fourth one is a food processing unit. So herein we are deploying the moisture, temperature, and RPM sensors to calculate because it is a very sensitive area wherein you need to have the exact amount of moisture, exact amount of temperature, because they are this unit is a maker of snacks. So we need to control the temperature and the moistures and the speed at which the input material is fed. So we are deploying the moisture, temperature, and RPM sensors, which will be then analyzed at the server end for predictive maintenance and controlling. And the last unit is the PCB manufacturers. So we are here. We are deploying the pressure and the motor current sensors, because they want to get define the amount and the input through which these pressures and the solution is being injected. So we are trying to deploy the sensors through which we can analyze for the PCB manufacturers, and we will also be deploying energy saving modules for them through sensors and data visualization, predictive maintenance. Next. There was a use case which I was talking about that we implemented. This was implemented in the uh, a unit in south of India, and we implemented three solutions. What first was the quality loss tracking system, second was the material requirement tracking system, and third was the production monitoring. So what we did is we are trying to gather the data visualization and extraction and display on the dashboard with respect to the current production level. We are also trying to solve the material requirements, because they were having lots of defects with respect to parts rejection, uh, sorry the parts rejection and the material loss was the quality and material loss tracking system. So we developed solutions wherein you can have the track of all the in production materials. Third was we developed the material requirement tracking, that is we integrated the suppliers also into the dashboard, and we are able to see on real time basis. The supplier is able to see on the dashboard when there is a requirement of the solution or product. He will be issuing the goods issue through which you can get the required uh, products at your end. So this is a very important aspect when you talk of industry 4.0 integrations with suppliers and customers. So we also integrated that supplier part through these modules. Next, please.
Hello,
So I will
Mr.
just
Yadu.
we'll just quickly glance through it. Maybe another,
Yes, Mr.
right.
Yadu. So before you proceed,
Maybe another,
sorry for interrupting you. So before we proceed to your presentation,
no
let me
problem,
just
please.
check with the participants if you have any questions regarding the presentation of our resource speaker from India. Currently is discussing the technologies that they are implementing with one of their initiatives, if I'm right, about the 5 demonstration companies. So he is walking us through the different technologies, Industry 4.0 related technologies that are being implemented for them to adapt on these trends. So for the participants, do you have any questions regarding the presentation or any areas that you want Mr. Yadu to focus more or to discuss more as he ends his presentation?
yes. I think maybe
If
another 10
possible, you
minutes.
can, yeah. So if
Right,
you
right.
want, you can also
So,
click the raise hand button at the lower part of your screen in the Google Meet so that you can directly post your questions.
right.
So yes,
Yes.
Mr.
Uh,
Igimar Tupas, you can ask
I
your question.
just give to the next slide. Go to the next slide. So,
Mr. Tupas, Mr. Yadu, there's a question from Mr. Tupas. Mr. Tupas, we
okay,
cannot
okay.
hear you. You have no audio. If you want, you can type your question first. So if you have a technical difficulty, we can read your question. We cannot hear you, Mr. Tupas. Sorry.
Right, right.
So for the other participants, you may directly write your questions in the chat box. So Mr. Yadu, you can also proceed with your discussion. I think the participants will be interested with your presentation for slide number 67, discussing the
Please,
industry and academia linkages, because some of
please, please,
our
please.
participants are from the state universities and
Right,
colleges
right,
here
right.
in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
it is getting too much technical, I think.
Yes, yes.
We can move that to that industry academia linkage. It will be more interesting.
So Ivan, kindly go to
Yeah,
slide.
you can skip because I have already told the benefits of the demo which we did in the Chennai, and let me tell you that the recurring benefits which we got from that the implementation of these three technological solutions was close to 50 lakhs Indian rupees. If we translate, it is something close to 70,000 US dollars annual benefits which these units got.
Okay. Tim, kindly mute Mr. Tupas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr.
Hello.
Tupas. No, yes, we can
Can you
now
hear me?
hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Um, what are the barriers that hinder the implementation of Industry 4.0 in India?
Mr. Yadu, you're on mute. So the question of Mr. Tupas is on the barrier and how
Right,
did
right.
you address it?
Uh, 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 good afternoon, sir. It's a
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
it's a good question, and I think some of the key challenges that we are currently facing, if you see on the technical issues or the technical aspects, we have three challenges. Like first is key, we have the lack of adequate infrastructure if we talk of physical as well as digital. So despite some of the continuous efforts, we are lacking some of the basic infrastructures. If you talk of the digital uh, integration, because internet is one of the very basic aspect through which you will be implementing the I40 technologies. You need a very strong and stable internet connection. So we are working on that, and since India is a big country, and I'm sure that we will be able to bridge that challenge. Second is with respect to the cyber security aspects, because once you are taking your data online, there are a lot of risks and challenges with respect to which the data is being kept, the way in which the data is being secured. So there are a lot of apprehensions. Even when we are implementing with some of the SMEs, they are apprehensive of their data being taken to the cloud. But as far as the cyber security is concerned, we have lots of platforms in house, like the NIC, the National Informatics Center server is there. So we can try to think of keeping the data in a more secured and in a more secured manner, so that the data stealing is not done. And the third aspect which we see as a challenge is the high cost of technologies. This is a very important challenge that we are facing right now. Like when we discuss the implementation with the solution providers on one hand and the SME companies on the other, there is a very big difference that we are seeing. So for one of the solution, they will be charging few $1,000s. Same company will be charging few $1,000s, and other company will be charging in lakhs, maybe thousands more, 100 times more. So that differentiation is not being established in a very clear manner. We need to devise strategies through which the pricing of various sensors, of various technological aspects gets clearly defined, so that these SMEs are able to take knowledge of and grasp these technologies and implement them in their shop floor. And the second challenge series second challenge model, which if we talk about, is a skill and talent issues, which we have discussed that the there is a workforce skill gap. There is also a leadership skill gap. So we need to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tupas. So, Mr. Yadu, you can now proceed to your presentation to wrap
Please
up.
go on to that 67 slide.
Yes, we already are showing the industry, academia, and
Okay.
teacher presentation. And for the
Okay. So
participants, if you have other questions, kindly write them in the chat box. We are now on the last part of Mr. Yadu's presentation. Thank you, sir.
so one of the thank you, Dan. One of the important aspect that we currently are working upon is a model through which, as I have already discussed with you, we are trying to develop the industry academia linkages. We are at the center. The center of excellence is at the center, which is at NPC India, and we are trying to develop the outreach COEs, as already discussed with you. These outreach COEs, what is the main focus of these outreach COEs? We are trying to enable entrepreneurship. That is, we will be setting the innovation labs and infrastructure in these outreach COEs. We will be collaborating with the local governments and industry entities through these innovation labs, and we will be having a connect with the enterprise in those regions. We will be working very closely with enterprise in the region of those outreach COEs where they are established. These outreach COEs, obviously, we will be establishing in the universities. Second, we want to develop an innovation solution enabler. That is, we want to network with all the solution providers in the country, in that region especially, and bridge the innovators and enterprise to co-create a business solutions. And so on the one hand, we will be having a solution providers. These solution providers will be working through the outreach COE model only. So how do we cater to the development of these outreach COEs? We will be doing the faculty development program through which these faculties will be trained on latest I40 technologies, be it blockchain, IoT, uh, artificial intelligence, machine learning, based on the interest and the categorization of the faculties in which on the technologies in which they are working. We will also be, secondly, firstly, we will be training the faculties. Secondly, we will be uh, 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 rolling out internship programs for students, internship as well as full credit programs for students in these universities. Already we the model is up and running. We are in talks with universities, and we are going to roll it out very soon. What we will be doing is we will be rolling out the internship programs through which these students will be able to learn the latest aspects. That learning is not a problem, but we will be trying to make them learn by going to the shop floor on and learn through real time scenarios. And obviously when we will be training the faculties, they will be acting as the mentors and guides. For some initial stage, we have to make them understand, make the faculties understand, to reach to a certain level so that they are able to gel in and they are able to grasp the nitty gritties of the ways in which the manufacturing sector works. We will give them tools and technologies through which they can assess the readiness, like this digital readiness assessment. We will be training them on, so that they can go on shop floor and then address their pain areas. Also, these universities are working on lots of prototypes, lots of technologies, lots of R&Ds, which doesn't go open in the market. It only remains in the labs in a very hindered manner. These technologies uh, are used, but we want to take these technologies to the shop floor. We want these the solution the unit owners are able to take advantage of these technologies, and these faculties will be our outreach arms. this, so what we are trying is we are trying to expand this ecosystem through the help of these outreach COEs, wherein faculties will be trained, wherein students will be trained, and on real-time scenarios in collaboration with the industries and industry associations in those areas. You can take the next one. So what we are, the components are the innovation research in the area of robotics, technology-enabled training programs, incubation centers for budding entrepreneurs. So we will be developing the center as an incubation center. Also, we will be providing the kits, the training kits with respect to I40, like robotic kits, IoT kits to these students, wherein they can uh, use it through plug and play mode. They can tweak it, they can do experiments on it. So the infrastructure is also one of the important aspects because it is not readily available in all the universities and colleges. So we want to, our target is those colleges and universities where the infrastructure is not there, enable them, equip them, train them, and then make them our extended partners for this I40 scenario implementation. Next, please. So we are doing the state-of-art COE lab setup, wherein we will be doing this FDP program as already told, semester-wise certification programs. We are also doing the robotics literacy program. We will be developing this lab at the institute premises. We will be doing the innovation research with collaborating partners, because once that ecosystem develops, the partners will come, the other solution integrators will come, who can then train these faculties on real-time industry-based scenarios. And we will be supporting the ideas and solutions through incubation centers. Next, to next. These skip, please. Next. This is the recommendation which we have got through one of the studies that we have done with respect to how to upscale the Industry 4.0 scenario. And this is applicable to all the economies and all the countries. With respect to the Industry 4.0 awareness, what we want to do is, and we have given the relative importance of the stakeholders. So the brown is the low relative importance, and then light green is the medium, and dark green is the highest importance. So what is the level of importance of the stakeholder? Here we are trying to pinpoint and identify. For the awareness part, the most important duty and the most important stakeholder is the industry association. What they have to do is they have to conduct sessions in the annual mode with respect to I40. They need to organize seminars. They need to take on board OEMs to sponsor and share case studies with other SMEs, so that other SMEs vision also gets open up. They also are able to know what is important for them, how they can implement the I40 solutions, what is the way to implement. So this through the industry associations mode is one of the very key important for awareness generation. Then you want to develop the knowledge, and that doesn't, in awareness, it doesn't mean that other players are not important, but they have very mild or medium responsibility. Like what technology providers can do, they can share case studies, they can make videos for social media campaigns. What institutions can do, they can conduct seminars, like the universities and the colleges. They can organize exhibitions and lecture sessions. They can, and this will be done obviously through in the overall umbrella of the national body like NPC India. Like for the development of the knowledge, the government, what it can do, it can launch a scheme for the demo companies in strategic locations. What we want to do is we want to develop lighthouses. We want to create small interventions, wherein which will then make other SMEs in their region, enable, empower them, and give knowledge to them that look, we have implemented I40 strategy and solutions. Now it is better for you to also implement to gain advantage to improve productivity and efficiency. Industry associations have a very important role. They can conduct technical workshops. They can organize regional workshops for production and IT managers. They can interact with the demo companies and SMEs, and they can then also interact with the national body like NPC. The technology providers also have an important role that they need to showcase case studies of successful implementation to these SMEs. They need to conduct trainings. They need to give the details of the costing of the sensors, of the technologies, of every aspect of the related to this I40 implementation. They need to drive away the fears of the owners, like they don't have to invest humongous sum of money, but they can still do the I40 intervention through small steps. Next. Uh, then there's a technical competence. With respect to technical competence, we have sector scale councils in our which are sector specific working on sector specific technologies. They can focus on technical training, and then the government can empanel consultants for each sector who will assist SMEs, because as I told you that this is basically talking about the ecosystem wherein you have the technology integrators, you have the solution providers who are able to assist these SMEs implement I40 in a cost effective manner. Cost is a very important issue, and we should not lose that aspect. Also, the technology providers, they can launch technology programs, training programs. They can certify competent professionals. Those who have high technical competence, they can certify them. And the institutions can conduct basic level training for specific sectors. They can develop self-learning materials and upload it, through which the SMEs can learn. The institutions can also develop online platform for various sectors. Also, we need to when you look about the feasibility studies, government is role is to launch a scheme to support this feasibility study and give priority to the SMEs who have better feasibility to adopt I40, because you need to carve a strategy through which you see those units who already are you can say mature enough to adopt these I40 technology in a quick manner. Institutions have a very important role in these feasibility studies, because they need to set up teams of faculties and scholars who can conduct the feasibility study in their local areas, and they can provide this report to SMEs to avail the benefits of the scheme which will be rolled out. And this is part of our strategy to do through the outreach COEs that we are planning to develop. And obviously, this will be done under the umbrella of our national body like NPC. Next, please. Then we talk about the proof of concept, because we want to create lighthouse effects through which we can showcase the various I40 interventions which have led to massive improvement in productivity. So government role is to launch a scheme to support the POC development and empanel the consultants who will assist these SMEs, and give priority to those who have better feasibility based on the feasibility study that has been done. So the report which I was talking about with respect to the priority sectors implementation, which we have done in 5 sectors, this was basically the feasibility study that we have done to assess the level of the readiness of the sector and how we can do the interventions. Here the institution's role is very important, because they need to set up team of faculty and scholars for POC development. We will be training them how to do the POC, and they will be our outreach arms and partners in doing these POCs. They can certify the SMEs for availing benefits of the scheme. Then we talk about the affordability. Herein the government role is of very important, because government needs to roll out the schemes through which support is provided to the SMEs, like capital subsidies, like interest subvention, like subsidy for technology interventions, allow OEMs to support the SMEs with cost sharing arrangement, and they can then claim subsidies on tax exemptions. Then machinery supplies can be provided. Then standardization can be done for I40 technology. So government is there to create a platform, to create an enabling environment in which these projects, these implementation aspects can then flourish. And obviously, technology providers have a mild role because they can work to make it affordable. They can offer a advanced solution based on SME choice in a cost-effective manner. So these are the aspects which we can take in mind with respect to affordability. Next, please. So when you see of the key stakeholders, when you initiate the journey of I40, then the actions the stakeholders are like industry associations and institutions, and what actions they need to do is they need to enable SMEs to adopt basic IT. Awareness sessions need to be conducted, workshops, demonstration workshops through newsletters and social media campaigns. You need to make the SMEs aware with respect to the key technologies and the key benefits of adopting the I40 technology. So industry associations and institutions role is of paramount importance here. Next, when we come up exploration, you are talking about enabling SMEs to adequate to have a IT infrastructure. You are talking about technical workshops. You are talking about demo projects or proof of concepts. You are talking about feasibility studies. So herein, again, the institution's role and the technology provider role is very important, because herein you are doing the proof of concepts and you want to showcase that the POC should be delivered in a very cost-effective manner. It should be done in select areas wherein you have the maximum ROI. So for that, you need technology providers, you need integrators, you need the institutions who can support these implementation aspects. Then when you go for the highest one, that is the adoption of I40 technologies, wherein you are talking that government comes out with a capital or interest subsidy scheme, and it is able to provide technology at a very cost effective manner, and it is able to give you implementation support. Their government and technology providers become an important partners and players for doing the implementation. So in the last, I want to just say that the I40 journey is a very important and critical aspect when you talk of legacy countries like India and Philippines, and we need to embark on this journey as soon as possible and make it a global intervention and all encompassing for all the SMEs, so that they get benefited from it and are able to reap the maximum benefits out of it. This will only this is the only intervention that we will be requiring to improve the manufacturing scenario and making us global manufacturing powerhouses. Thank you.
Thank you, Assistant Director Yadu, for a very detailed presentation on India's effort and strategies on Industry 4.0. Apologies for the participant for the time extension. We will now quickly proceed to the open forum. The first question is from Mr. Ronnie Velasco. Sir Ronnie, you may ask your question directly to the resource person.
Yes, thank you, Sir Yadok from India. I'm also honored to listen to your presentation, and I've learned so many things about Industry 4.0. And your presentation is also my discussions to my students about manufacturing. So I'm just curious, with your initiatives towards assisting the academe in Industry 4.0, what challenges you were facing and how you encourage the faculty, especially faculty, to adapt the trains and the industry for 4.0. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ronnie, for your interesting question. And I think, yes, when you talk of Industry 4.0 implementation, everything is a challenge. And when we are venturing into a new field like industry academia linkage, the first challenge that we come across is that the faculties are attuned, or they have you can say that they are accustomed to working in their old manner. That is, they are only focusing on the theory part. They
Yes.
have never gone out to the industries. They have never implemented solutions in real time scenarios. So it is a very big challenge for us to enable them, empower them, and make them learn the aspects with respect to the real time scenarios. So as you are right, it is a challenge. First challenge is the mental block. We need to carve out that. We need to discuss with them in detail that this is going to be a game changer for the way in which you are teaching your students as well as your own understanding. Because if you don't go to the industry and then you are not working in tandem with them, because industries are and SMEs, they are working with real time problems. They are always in a firefighting mode. They don't have time for mm, doing the interventions at their own level. They will be knowing many things, but they don't know how to go forward. So these COEs, outreach COEs, can then become a very important network through which we can integrate them into an ecosystem and then make them start collaborating. So I think you're right that challenges are there, but we are able to convince, because already we are working with five institutions. They are on our panel, and we'll be shortly rolling out the programs, the industry linked faculty development as well as student integration programs. And let me tell you that they are ready. The faculties as well as students, they want to learn new things. They are fed up with the old way of learning, the rote learning, that is the only theory based learning. They are ready to learn, and they are very optimistic about this intervention. So they are very looking forward looking with respect to implementation of this model, I can say. Yet, but yes, challenges are there. We are trying to overcome them as we move along the journey.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yadu, for the answer, and thank you, Mr. Ronnie, for your question. Related to that, Mr. Yadu, I would like to ask: is there a conscious effort on NPC or any other government agencies to review your education curriculum, especially the higher education curriculum, so that you can better adapt to the needs and trends of Industry 4.0?
Sorry, can you come again?
Is there a conscious effort on the part of NPC or the other government agencies to review your higher education curriculum so that you will be better adapt to Industry 4.0?
Right. So what we are trying is, as you rightly said, that this is a very big ecosystem that we need to work upon, because there are thousands and thousands of universities which we need to integrate and then make them understand, or you can say that upgrade their knowledge as well as efficiency to adopt the I40 in a very comprehensive manner. So, government is also very positive with respect to that, because they are already rolling out various initiatives like Skill India. So, what we are trying is, we are trying that the our efforts and the government efforts, they to collaborate, merge, and then we are able to provide, since because there are two levels of government in India. We have a central level government, and then also we have state level governments. So we need to work in tandem with both. At the central level, we are trying for the main policies of interventions, which will help to develop this ecosystem. And at the state level, we will be obviously collaborating with them with respect to policy as well as the real-time implementation. And for in that aspect, the state governments will be very helpful to us. So as asked by you, we are writing to we are in discussion with the governments of India as well as state governments. We are writing to them, and we are discussing this model what we have developed with these governments, and in let us see how things go forward. Right now, we are trying to develop some of the use cases so that this gets uh, spread in a comprehensive manner. So in that on that scale and level, the government can come and then do the intervention and help us.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is from Ma'am Roxy Yap. Ma'am Roxy, you can ask your question now. Hi, Ma'am Roxy.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you
Afternoon,
hear
ma'am.
me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I think you have there. I find your presentation very interesting. There are a lot of things and a lot of elements about your efforts for to promote Industry 4.0 in India. What I'm concerned is if you have any measures or how do you ensure the success of all your development efforts? Do you have a monitoring tool or how do you evaluate how far you've gone in all those plans that you have for your industry?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your question. I think a very pertinent question you're asking. That obviously that when you talk of the activities and interventions that we at NPC are doing, and there are a lot of challenges with respect to these new technologies, especially I40, because we need to start afresh at each and every level. And whether you talk of any government intervention or any activity that we are doing, obviously we have set some parameters and the overall modeling we have set. And I think last year also evaluation was done by APO of all the COEs and the Center of Excellence. And then Center of Excellence on Industry 4.0 was also part of that. We shared our vision, we shared our roadmap, we shared the activity plan that we have devised for our for the implementation of this I40. And based on that, they measured and analyzed. So I think the analysis part is we are leaving to the third party, that is APO. And we keep on improving internally also, like we have discussions, we have, because our we are headed by the Director General, who is a Government of India representative, and we also have our parent ministry, which is the DPIIT. So the which is the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So we share with our parent ministry a regular you can say result based metrics. We share with them on regular basis. So therein we share with them what activities which we are doing, what is our plan, and what is the output, and as well as outcome of those activities. So we are sharing with our parent ministry on a regular basis. Also, we are sharing with APO on regular basis our plan, our progress so far, our vision, and other related aspects, because we want to make it in a it very open, the activities that we are doing, because we want lots and lots of help from any stakeholder, for from any entity that can provide us that outreach to make it global, this intervention.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, Ma'am Roxy. Our last question, I think, is from Miss Marigold Cherry. Ma'am Marigold. Hi, Ma'am Marigold. I'll just read her question. There are IoT security-related loopholes on top of the threat of losing jobs. What is India's strategy in addressing these concerns?
So basically, you are very right that as I also told, that implementation of these technologies and making your data on a cloud, putting your data on a cloud poses lots of risks. And we in India also we are tackling lots and lots of cyber crimes happening each and every day, and it is becoming it is spreading very fast. So what we have to also, we have also a national body like Bureau of Indian Standards. So it is a standards making body, and it also looks into the cyber security and other related aspects with respect to standardization and other security aspects. So it has a committee. That committee is now already it is started discussing the cyber security and other related aspects, how the various communication protocols and the cloud related, internet related aspects need to be tackled when you talk of the securing your data. So yes, government of India is uh, coming out with the now it has started working on these aspects, because the use of internet is ubiquitous now, and it is expanding like anything. So for everything we are using the internet, and then internet related issues and thefts obviously become a major hindrance when you talk of secured and seamless and integrated connections. So like I told, Bureau of Indian Standards is coming out with a is discussing regularly among itself and coming out with standards to deal with the cyber security. NPC India is also part of that committee, and we are also discussing. And then we are having lots of sessions, and we will be coming out with that comprehensive standard framework through which we can tackle and then deal.
Thank you, Sir Yadu. It looks like we've covered all the questions in the chat box. Let me have a one final check. Are there any additional questions from our participants before we officially end our open forum?
Thank you.
If I think there's none. If none, then thank you, Assistant Director Yadu. That ends our
Thank
open
you.
forum. We would like to express our gratitude to you for accepting our invitation and for supporting this capability building initiative in the Philippine public sector. So before we end today's session, as part of our tradition, may we request everyone to turn on their camera for our class picture for documentation purposes. So everyone, kindly open your camera. I hope my team are ready to capture their picture. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Assistant Director Yadu, for a very wonderful presentation, very informative one. So for the hope to see you again in our future webinars and other capacity building, especially on Industry 4.0. I hope this will be a start on a future collaboration between DAP and NPC India.
I'm very honored, and thanks a lot for this opportunity.
Thank you. So for the participants, please don't forget to accomplish the session and resource person evaluation sheet by clicking the link in the chat box. This can be completed after you leave the Google platform. Your feedback will be valuable in improving the delivery of our next set of webinar series. We'll also use this to validate your attendance. This concludes our webinar series on Industry 4.0 and emerging trends. Again, we would like to thank the participants, the senior executives, and key officers from our national and regional offices of the different participating agencies and its attached agencies and corporations, and our educators from the different state universities and colleges, from the Senate of the Philippines, from the National Economic and Development Authority, from the Department of Trade and Industry, from the Department of Science and Technology, from the Department of Information and Communication Technology, from the Department of Labor and Employment, our educators from the Department of Education, from the Department of Agriculture, Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of National Defense, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, from the Commission on Higher Education, our educators from the different state universities and colleges. We hope that this webinar series enabled you and your institution to have a better and deepened understanding, compare, and learn from the different strategies and experiences of the countries we featured in this webinar. From Germany as the nation that gave birth to this trend last November 24, from Malaysia as an example of a leading economy, and India with their Center of Excellence on IT for Industry 4.0 as implemented by the National Productivity Council. For those who attended all three sessions, you will receive your e-certificate and will be sent to your email address once we validate and consolidate your attendance records in this webinar series. We will not issue a separate certificate of attendance for each session. Please accept our gratitude for joining us in this webinar series. On behalf of the team behind this webinar, headed by Director Alvin Principe, our supervising fellow, and the technical staff, Ivan, Bea, and Maris, it was a pleasure hosting you for this webinar series. We look forward to meeting you all on our future webinar and course offerings. Our office is offering technical assistance and capacity building and strategic and operations planning, leadership management, project management, and risk management. If you are interested, you may contact us to our official email at cfg_omo@dap.edu.ph. Thank you and advance Merry Christmas. God bless us all. Thank you, Sir Yadu.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the participants. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.